We're making a bag for little Isa, and I thought that maybe you'd like to see some of the process of how we make the bag and putting it together. So here's our little pocket, okay? And I'm going to be placing it inside the bag. Guys, sewing across the bottom of the pocket. Sewing the sides together. All right, you guys, here is the liner of the bag and here is the outer of the bag, and we are gonna sew the two sides together so that it can become one bag. How exciting. So you gotta line up our seams and then we're gonna go for it and hope, always hoping it turns out the way we want it to. All right, so put a little stitch there to hold it in place, and then I'm gonna find my other seam over here. And when you're sewing, you always have to sew things together inside out. So it's almost like a puzzle or an engineering project. So I'm tucking my straps in so we don't end up with them in the seam. I'm lining up the edges of the outer and the liner fabric. And then we are gonna go for it. Making sure the straps are out of the way. Making sure my seams are lined up right in the edge here. Here we go. Get this out of the way. Okay. I never use pins. What a waste of time. And just hold the fabric and it manhandle it a little bit, tell it what to do. Okay guys, we have our initial seam. I'm gonna add one more to make sure that we don't have any of this white edge. You see that little white edge right there? That's from the print of the fabric. That's where the edge of the print is. And I wanna make sure it's nice and strong. So I'm gonna come in a little bit deeper and I'm gonna do one more seam, lining up the edge of the sewing machine foot with the seam I already did. That's our guide rail, so we know exactly where to go. It's a lot of just lining things up. And then that'll give the bag a little bit of a stiffer edge, make it just a little bit stronger. Okay. Now for the magic, you guys. We're gonna turn it right side out. So I left a little opening here, you can see, and I'm gonna pull everything through the opening, and our bag is gonna take shape. This is the fun part. Gonna tuck the inside down into tuck the liner down inside and give it a shake. And now you can kind of see it's starting to look like a bag. All right, guys, now we're gonna put the seam around the top of the bag to kind of give it a little more structure and make that seem a little bit more official. Here we go. Okay, all along the way, I gotta kind of pull the fabric to line it up nicely. Here we go. That's enough. All right, guys, with any good bag, we have to reinforce the strap so that when you pull on it, it doesn't just create friction or pull through or create any kind of structural problem. So we are going to, let's see, come back this way a little bit. We're gonna sew a box around the base of each strap. Let's see. For the purpose of strengthening them. Basically, I'm trying to sew in a sloppy fashion, trying to sew a box with an X across the middle for that added stability. And of course, right at the top is the most crucial. All right, guys, last part is to sew up the hole on the inside that we pulled the fabric through when we turned it right side out. You can see here, it's open. Gonna line it up, pull it tight. I never use pins. Oh, gotta back it up. Okay, go. Okay, guys, it's official. Here is Issa's tote bag, complete with little kitty corn pocket on the inside. Da 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 da! Yay! And there we go.